Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new tutorial. Today we are going to be learning how to create a rolling bass line. So we're going to be looking at the programming that it takes to create it. Today's bass line is going to be a very simple one. It's going to be a rolling bass, so it's going to be a kick, bass, kick, bass, kick, bass. So we're going to increase our tempo to 136. So that's what we're going to be using to create our bass line. That's going to be the MIDI. So before we get started, please make sure to like the evolution of sound. It would be awesome if you guys who make trance music would submit some of your music. We've been having a lot of big room house lately. I feel like that's what everyone wants to make. But if you guys make trance, make sure to submit your tracks, and without, you guys probably will have like first priority when it comes to it. So make sure to like the evolution of sound. We're also going to be turning it into a community, and hopefully, if you're a producer or want to help out, then by all means contact me. Some of the things I'm looking for is people who can make tutorials for a new channel we're going to start called The Evolution of Sound, obviously, where we're going to be teaching the fundamentals of producing and so forth, and get into a lot of things like, basics and advanced, things like mixing, compression, and so forth. Okay. All right, guys, so let's get started. So straight away, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a saw, and we're going to lower it down 2 octaves here. And what that's going to do is it's going to lower the pitch of our sound by a value of 24. We're not going to be able to hear it, so we're going to put it up an octave. So that we have a very deep saw. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting another sign, and we're just going to do that to reinforce the sound. So there we have it. So right now the deep saw sounds really, like really fuzzy, really, in the high end. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filtering it. So we're going to put a perfecto up low pass 4, which is going to cover all the highs first. And what you're going to hear right now is you're not going to be able to hear the bass. All right, so pretty much this is the important part. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be routing our envelope 3 to our filter cutoff. And what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to modulate, or let's just say envelope the cutoff. So it's going to open it up. Remember, envelopes work through ADSR, attack, decay, sustain, and release. So attack's going to decide how fast something comes out. So the higher your attack, the longer it takes. So the longer distance it has to go. Decay is obviously going to decide how long it takes to get to a sustain value. And then the sustain value decides, where, it's going to remain at until it reaches a release phase, which is usually when you click your put your finger off the keyboard, and then your release is going to activate. All right, so the thing we're going to do is we're going to use decay. So we're going to slowly start moving it up, and we're going to move the amount all the way to the right, and we're going to try and get our bass to come out. And there we have our bass coming out. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretty much turn my saw into half a square and half a saw. And the way we do this in Inspire is when you have it in classic mode, you instantly have a saw unless you put in your wavetable mix. So you move the Control A, which is gonna pretty much all the way to the right. It's a square, but in the center it's half a square and half a saw. So this is where we want it. So now we have a square and a saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this an octave higher, because I'm not liking the way it's sounding. It's too low, too kind of money. So there we have it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to actually lower the decay here. And there we have it. Alright, so pretty much what's going on right now is pretty much we have a low pass 4 type filter. So the difference between a low pass 4 or low pass 2, what you might see, is the amount that is being covered. So a low pass 2 will naturally let out more sound than a low pass 4 will. So what we did is we routed an envelope, as you can see here, our envelope 3 to the cutoff. So cutoff here. And pretty much we put the amount all the way to the right. So pretty much what's going on is the decay is making this cutoff go up here. And then it's coming straight back down. So it's happening fast to the point where it's like, and that's how we get that effect. Like the punchiness of a rolling bass. Because if I just had this as a sustained thing and opened, it doesn't sound like a rolling bass at all. Okay, so we're gonna put the cutoff on, and then we're gonna pull it back, and now we're gonna, and there we have it. Okay, very cool. Now we're gonna add some delay. Rolling bass is nothing without some delay, or else it just sounds like a very plain. There we have it. Alright, now we're just going to add some XCOM, which is just compression in general. So remember, compression is meant to make stuff low, control high things, or just kind of get everything on the same level. And in other words, something's too loud and something is too low. So we compress it so we can get them at the same level. So we lower the dynamics of the really loud one in order to get it down to the level of the very low one. So as soon as you turn your compressor on, it's going to get loud because of the makeup gain. But once you start going and going, it starts getting very, very quiet. You can see that. So alright, now we're going to put some EQ. So we're going to get rid of a little bit of the low end. We're going to apply a little bit of a high shelf. We're going to remove some of the lower end here, just a tiny bit. And there we have it. So, last thing we're going to do is put this in mono, which is just going to let us play one note at a time. So, very cool sound. So that's how we would end up creating a rolling bass. If we wanted to get a little bit more creative with it, like, you know, apply different sort of things, then we can start, you know, messing with the effects more, maybe add reverb, which is very unorthodox. We could also add a shaper, which kind of distorts it. And pretty much that's it, guys. So pretty much that's the basics of creating a rolling bass. In the future, we will get into creating a real rolling bass, like a very, very complete one. But this is how you get started creating rolling basses. You pretty much just have to learn the programming. So to review real fast, pretty much the important part is just selecting your filter as a low pass 4. You can use a high pass as well. It's just the opposite of a low pass, and you get a different type of effect. And pretty much all we did is we went in here and filter 1, we put a cutoff and routed it the envelope here, and this is the way we get it to be punchy. And there we have it, guys. So please make sure to like the Evolution of Sound page. If this tutorial was helpful, make sure to like the video, and I'll see you guys next time.